Hi, my name is Lena. Today we are going to paint an owl. This owl is kind of messy, so you'll enjoy doing this because nothing has to be perfect on it. A little bit about me. I am an artist who was a wedding photographer for 20 years, and I retired about 2 years ago as I have started to slowly lose my eyesight. And I am considered legally blind. So I hope that that helps you with your painting in knowing that I can't see very well myself. Today, the owl here that you see is on a 16 by 20. Today, we will be painting on 11 by 14, so a much smaller canvas. You can use any colors that you have. I don't know which colors they have given you, but I know that I've used a lot of purples. We've got some teal and orange, whites, blacks, yellows. But if you have greens or other types of colors, feel free to use it. You can be more dominant in, if you want to do your owl in orange or in yellow, feel free to do that. You don't have to follow the actual colors. This is all about having fun. So today I'm going to use a couple of brushes. Right now I'm just going to begin with two, just some random brushes. This is a smaller brush here, and then I've kind of got a bigger brush here. Feel free to use any style of brush that you might have. You may have something that's a bigger brush like this. You may have something kind of like this. Just use anything, honestly. That's just how I do my paintings. Also, you might have some of these colors here. You can get a lot of these colors at Walmart for 50 cents. They're just cheap little acrylic paints. They're really fun to play with. If you get a little bit more serious about doing some more paintings and that sort of thing, you might want to upgrade to something a little more expensive. The paints are a lot thicker. Some of these came from the internet as well as Hobby Lobby. You can also buy little kits that are of more expensive. But for something like this, I recommend just buying the little 50-cent Walmart paints. I've already kind of thrown some paint onto my palette already, which is a paper plate. And I always start with a small amount because you can always add more. If you put too much on your plate and you don't need it, you're wasting paint. So I always say start with a little bit of something small. These are the colors that I'm going to choose for the owl today. So again, if you have other colors, feel free. For me, I'm going to begin with, I'm going to start with this particular brush myself. Again, you might have something like this to start with, and that's fine too. Or you can start with your round brush, anything that you feel comfortable with. So for today, I'm going to use this lighter color, purple. If you want to use yellow or teal, you decide how you want to do it. I load up the paint on the brush, and then what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where we want to put these eyes for the owl. So I'm going to decide to put an eye here. So we're just going to make like a half circle and then another half circle right here. And then we're going to take and do a line down here and then another line right here. So now you've got your eyes happening here. Then I'm going to take my brush and make a little arch here as well as another arch here. Okay? And again, it's not going to be exact like the painting I did originally, but that's the beautiful thing about making this owl, is because every owl in the wild is different too. So it doesn't have to be exact like the painting that I have up. I'm loading more paint on here. And then what I'm going to do is, this is just like a basic outline here. We're going to put the nose in. It's just because I want to make sure I see where I'm going with this. And then I'm taking another line and coming like this. And again like this. And here's the cool thing. If you mess up, we make it part of the painting. Then the body, we're going to start here at the lower part of the eye and just bring down the brush stroke like this. And then again right about here. And here's our owl. Okay? And I do come to the edges. I like doing that myself. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is continue to take this light purple color, and I'm just going to make some strokes on here, such as this. Okay? And I just kind of go fast. I don't really have any rhyme or reason. I don't think about it. I just put it on here. Because you don't want to think too hard. If you think too hard about it, then you're going to get frustrated with your painting. And getting frustrated with painting is no fun. Then there's no reason to paint because it's not relaxing. If it's not relaxing to you, then why paint? This should be fun. It should be relaxing. There should be no rhyme or reason to this. It should just be the brush strokes coming down. If you screw up, like such as this, well, oops. It's okay, because guess what? There's purple in here. We'll just add to it. No big deal, okay? I'm all about just having fun with it. And I use the lighter color first because what I'm going to do is just keep adding on colors to this owl, okay? If you get a little paint on yourself, that's a good thing. We're just going to add color. Now, I don't like to really wash my brush in between the colors because I'm kind of a lazy painter. That's how I call myself. But that's a good thing because you're just going to pick up the darker color. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make strokes in here. And I'm just going to go fast with it. Don't think about it, because if you think about it, it's just no fun. We just go with it. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Have fun with it. You're making a lot of just fun, messy strokes onto your owl. And again, yes, I like to put it on the side, so I just kind of add a little bit here. Then I'm going to add a little bit up here at the top. Okay? All right? I might want to go even a little bit bigger. That's okay too. Let's say you go outside of your line. Let's say your brush goes like this and you've gone outside of your line. That's okay. Keep adding to it. Don't worry about it. We're going to make it fun. I want my eyes to be a little bit bigger, so guess what? Go like that. Not a big deal. That's what I love about painting, is you can go, hey, I don't like the way this looks, so I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to make that eye a little bit bigger. Okay? So now we've added some more of the purples. All right? You've still got a lot of white space in here. Not a big deal. I'm going to, again, not washing my brush. I've picked up some of the teal, and again, I'm just putting it in here very quickly. No rhyme or reason. Just do it. Don't think about it. If you think about it, no fun. Okay? So I put a little bit of this teal in there. Again, I like it on my sides here. Yep. And we've got teal. Now, for me, I like to add a little bit of this yellow. So again, I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to grab some of the yellow. Never washing the brush. I only wash the brush if I know that these colors aren't going to be mixing together. If something needs to dry and then of course I need to put a new color on top, then I'm going to clean my brush. But why clean my brush if all I'm going to do is make a bunch of messy strokes? No point in it. Okay? Don't stress yourself out with having to clean the brush every time. Okay? Again, we're just going to put it wherever you want to put it. There's really no rhyme or reason when it comes to this. Okay, so what I've done now is I've stopped. I've cleaned off my brush. It's all clean, no more paint. So it's clean. This is what we've got so far. And then what I'm going to do now is take my white and put it here in this area right here, okay? And then I'm going to also continue that white out here. Definitely want some of that purple showing through. So I'm going to do one eye to show you. So I'm doing my white right here in this section, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want it to be perfect, okay? So we've done one eye. I'm going to do the other eye and we'll be back. So I've put my white on here. If your purple's showing through, it's not a big deal, because you can see in my original painting there is a lot of paint coming through. So I am going to take, and I didn't even wash off the white again. It's just what I do. And I'm going to take a little more purple, and I'm just going to kind of come in here and put a few of these little strokes in here. I just like the way it looks, especially when the paint gets kind of mixed up. And nothing fancy here, okay? I've got some of that white on here, so I'm just going to put it on my canvas. I'm going to grab some more white. We're just going to stick that right here in the canvas as well.
1 second. Alright, I'm back on whenever you're...
Okay. So what I've done now is I've added just some white strokes because I had extra white on my brush, and I don't like to waste paint, so I stuck it on there. And since I'm here, I'm going to grab some of the orange and just kind of add a few strokes of orange in here. Just wherever you feel like. No rhyme or reason. There's no formula to this to say, hey, this is the way it should be. You should put a stroke here or put a stroke there. Nah, that's not how I like to paint. I've done a lot of those classes where, you know, it's like we put a stroke here, you put a line there, but that's good, you know, for a lot of folks. But this is supposed to be about having fun and expressing yourself and how you want your painting to be. So I've added my orange in here. I'm going to add it up here at the top. I might even just kind of throw some down here in his eye. Why not? Now I'm going to wash off my brush again. Okay, so the beautiful thing about this is that I'm still using the same brush. I'm still going strong with it. I want to have a little bit more purple, so I'm going to take my light purple and I'm just going to add some more strokes of paint. And that, my friends, is what's so fun, because you can say, hey, I think I want more of this purple, I want more white, I want more of this. You can put as many brush strokes as you want on this owl. I think I need a little more yellow, so I'm going to add a little yellow here. And then I feel like, hey, there's too much canvas maybe showing underneath, so I'm just going to add a little bit more like this. And I'm going to add a little more white on top of that. I love painting like this because you're just having fun with it. There's no rhyme, no reason. I love it. Why not have fun with it? I don't like stressful painting. It shouldn't be stressful. It should be all about fun. I might even come lightly off of the owl like this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. It's very lightly with the brush. Very lightly. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. It's like his feathers are kind of coming off of his body. It's like maybe he's cold. Maybe he's angry. He's kind of looking like an angry owl. I kind of like that. Okay, so for the next part here, I don't know what you call this part of an owl. I'm going to call it his eyebrows. So on my painting here, the original painting, you see a lot of small strokes. I'm going to clean off this brush. You never want to leave your brush sitting in the water like this. It will ruin your brushes. I clean them out real well, dry it off, let it sit to dry. I'm switching over to this style of brush here. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit wet. And then what I'm going to do is just take any color. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take this dark color. And then I'm going to do small little strokes of paint on his eyebrows. That's what I'm calling it. And they're little strokes like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one side to show you guys what I'm doing. And so what I am doing is just very small little strokes. Nothing in particular. It's just whatever feels cool to you. Okay? Again, I'm not switching any kind of color as in cleaning the brush. I'm just dipping into the next color. And if you feel like letting it dry in between, that's cool. You can do that. I'm going to take a little more orange, and I'm going to put little dabby strokes in here. And here's the thing. This brush is a very, very cheap brush. I mean, this is like what I call top of the line junk. And sometimes these little cheap brushes drive me crazy. And what I like about it is that it's challenging. It forces me to say, okay, I'm going to have to do this and make this right. And so you got to work with what you got. So if you're getting frustrated, work with what you got. And what I'm doing is just taking colors and just boom, 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 boom. Okay? Little strokes. All right. We haven't gotten to the color black yet, but we will. Okay? So I'm gonna finish the other one, and you guys finish it as well. And do as many small strokes, as many colors as you want. Keep adding what you want on top of it. And again, if you want to pause the video and let it dry in between each layer, totally you can do that. But I like to just kind of let things mix up and kind of get crazy. So I'm going to do the other one, and then I will be back. Okay, so I've done the second eyebrow. I don't know what it's called, but I think it's funny to say that. So we're going to do our color black. I've switched to this brush again. I just tend to like this one. So we're switching to black. We're going to take our black, and we are going to just kind of loosely outline the eye area. It doesn't have, there's no perfection to this. Just have fun with it. Nothing has to be perfect. As you can see, I'm not doing a straight line and holding it down like this. I'm just kind of loosely painting around. You're getting like strokes of color down, which is the black. Other color may be coming through or even being picked up that's still wet. And then I'm going to take his eyebrow and come down like this. Okay? And I'm going to paint his beak a black. And I am going with a solid on this. Oh, look at that. I went a little too outside of the original. But you know what? I like when I make mistakes because then it just makes me human and it makes you not freak out and think, oh my gosh, I can't do this because she's doing it just right. No, I don't want you to feel like that at all. So there's his beak. And then on this painting, he's got his pupil. We've got to put that in. Excuse me. My white is still wet, which is fine. It's going to kind of come through. I don't like to have solid colors and things being perfect. If I was going to paint like that, we'd have a lot of drying time. Tons of it. Your circles don't have to be perfect. We're not striving for perfection. We're striving for fun and relaxation. For me, painting is relaxing. Okay, so we've got our pupils in here. We're going to still continue with our black. I'm going to take it and go like this for his, we'll call it his eyebrow. And I am putting a lot of these black they're like a longer stroke. Like I say, I do a lot of layers on this owl, and you can do as many as you want. And I'm kind of going up with the strokes, okay? And it just kind of covered what we just did, but I still want it to peek through. And I'm going to add even more on top of it. And then what I'm also going to do with this black is add right here. I'm going to call them eyelashes, kind of. So they're just a shorter stroke. Still wanting some of my stuff to show up from underneath. And we'll call it his eyelashes. He's kind of funny looking to me. He's got a funny expression compared to the other guy that I made. And I love that because no two paintings are alike. I'm just kind of going over the pupil again. I'm just kind of getting this to be the way I want it to be. Okay. So then I'm going to take a little bit more of this black and just kind of add just very light for his body. Maybe like right here, here. Nothing too major on the black. You don't want it to be too heavy on his body, because it might weigh him down a little too much. As you can see, I just got a little bit in there. Okay, so we're gonna switch to a new color. I'll be right back. I think of how I did this.
Did what? You definitely got yellow around his eyes.
Yes.
Or on the outside, and you got the little white detail on the inside.
There's more black. Okay.
No, not so much black.
Down at the bottom part.
Here. Oh, down there. What did you say? Are you going to talk during this part?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just film me whenever you're ready.
Okay, I said I was going to change to a different color, but I messed up. I'm changing to a different brush. I'm changing back to this brush here. Okay, so I'm picking up more black again, and I'm just going to kind of add very lightly some more of this black around his eye. Okay. Kind of want it to kind of come through. And this is the brush that is kind of just a piece of junk. And I wanted to use it to show that, you know, it's not doing what I want it to do. It's just it's such a junky brush, but I wanted to use it so that if you have one at home and you're frustrated, you can still paint. You can still do it. It's not the end of the world. Okay? So, you know, if this is what you've got to work with, then make it work. Don't get frustrated. Okay? So, I feel like one eye is a little bit bigger than the other, the pupil, so I'm going to come back through and I'm going to make this guy just a little bit bigger. Okay? Alright, so I'm not even going to wash the brush out. I'm just going to grab some yellow, and I am going to put a yellow line right here on top of the black. Because I kind of want that black to come through. And I'm using the junky brush, so that you can see it's a very frustrating brush, but it's still working. Okay. The yellow is not going to be a solid yellow. You're going to have black coming through. But you want it to come through. If you're like, man, I don't like this. You know, sometimes it happens to me. I look at it and go, ugh, I don't like that. So then what I do is clean off the brush. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fix this. Definitely gonna fix this. I'm gonna go back to my black, and I'm gonna fix by adding black back in here, okay? I just didn't like the shape of it. So I'm just, all I'm doing is changing the shape of what I created. And I think what I want to do is kind of keep it more open-ended at the top. I don't want to make it a full circle. Like that. See? Fixed. A little too much right there, so boom, fixed it. Like a little too much yellow, so I'm going to go over it with a little more of this black. It's picking up some yellow, which is fine. I'm going to throw a little bit down right there. Okay. And what we're going to do now, I'm going to switch to this other brush, only because I like it better. And I'm going to go back to my white, and we're going to take, and we're going to put a little bit of highlight on his beak. And you can just do whatever you want. I just kind of put paint down like that, just no big deal. You don't have to do beautiful strokes of paint. I think a lot of people think that they have to do this really nice, beautiful line. Like, you know, if you want to, you know, hit the canvas with your brush like that, go for it. It's not going to hurt nothing. You take this white, same thing. Coming up here on his little eyebrows. Boom. And I'm hitting the canvas with it. No rhyme or reason. A little bit in his eyelashes. Yeah, I like that. I like how it's turning out. I feel like his eyelashes still need a little bit more color though. Okay. You're going to need to put a little highlight here in his pupil. Same thing. Boom, boom, boom. You're just tapping, tapping, tapping the canvas. You're going to have black coming through. That's fine. Nothing has to be perfect. I'm going to drop some of this. Sometimes I have a little too much and I just drop it on the body. No big deal. I'm going to take up here, I feel like he needs a little more color. So I took some of the teal and I'm just going to kind of tap it down a little bit on his eyebrows. I'm going to take some yellow, same thing. I'm going to tap it down. I'm going to take the orange, same thing, tap it down. And I might take a little bit of this orange and put it around his eye as well. Maybe a little bit of this purple. Put it kind of back in there. Oh, I don't like this, so I'll just take my finger. I'm like, yep, that fixed it. Okay, so our owl is almost done. You might want to just do like your own finishing touches by adding a few little strokes around the eye with your paint. You might want to take a little bit of the white or purple and just kind of make your own little strokes here, making it colorful. What I might do is fix a little bit of this black here, but honestly I would call him done. I might just kind of make it a little more smoother. Sometimes I go back in after looking at it and saying, oh, okay, I'm going to smooth this in just a little bit more. And that, my friends, is a cute little owl. And you can continue to add more strokes in there. You're like, hey, I'm going to add a little bit more here, right there. Do it. Have fun with it. I hope that you enjoyed the owl. He's messy. He's fun. He's exciting. And I hope that you guys just had fun being loose with your paintbrush.